Absolutely beautiful, this plant. Coming at you with the PSA. Get some houseplants into your game room, y'all. It really makes a difference. I love having these things. Cleans the air, easy on the eyes. You know, it's like a techno-organic room. That's the PSA for the day. Let's get right into the video. And here we go. This is pretty much a game rant in the form of, or a pickups in the form of a game rant. Now, in the previous game rant, I talked about this television, but it is a pickup. This is a National THA V9V. I paid 5,000 yen. As a matter of fact, I still haven't even taken or removed the price tag. But absolutely love this little TV. And with that, I got some audio. I got the Kenwood. This is an NMD 100 if I'm not mistaken. But I absolutely love the graphic EQ when you adjust the volume. You know, look at that. Come on, who doesn't like that? But so that's a pickup. The TV's a pickup. I got the games right here. There's nothing sexy about this. Ain't no Hollywood lighting this time, guys. It's just straight up room lighting. But anyhow, pickups. What else do we have? We got the Famicom Junior. Now, I sold my Famicom Junior, the previous one I had. It was complete in the box. And I sold it because it had a really bad smoke smell that just wouldn't go away. And apart from that, it was really badly stained by the smoke. So I got rid of it, and then I just settled for this. Paid 10,000 yen for it. And also have Godzilla. Monster Wars, I believe, is kind of the equivalent, which is Kaiju Daikessen. But absolutely brilliant game. I got it yesterday at the Hard Off in Kazo Higashi, and I already beat it. Now, mind you, it's going to be coming in bright, but that's more because of the camera settings. But believe me, it's not as bright, but I got those pickups. Also have this pickup, which I also featured in a previous game rant, but it's the Sega Arcade Power Stick for the Mega Drive. And this makes all the difference when playing my classic shooting games. This pickup right here, which is the Xbox 360E, 2,000 yen in Akihabara. And it did include all the necessary cables, which, you know, I got the AV cables, I got the power supply, and I have hooked it up to the old National, and man, it's, you know, playing the cave games on it, it really is a thing of beauty. I also have, check this out, this is a great one, the Midnight Blue PS2. This was 4,000 yen. It didn't include the stand, but it did include the little broadband, or HDD broadband adapter. And it loads every disc type of game that it supports. And this is, what's the model on this bad boy? Let's take a look. Where is it? Oh gosh, I don't know if I can see it from here. But it's pretty much like a 3900 model, because it doesn't have the other little port. What was that, the FireWire port or Firelink? Anyhow. But I'm gonna be getting rid of, because I got this one and I definitely don't need more PlayStation 2s. I'm gonna be getting rid of the white one. Gonna sell this one off. I did a little poll on Instagram, and I was feeling the Midnight Blue, and you know, the majority of you were also feeling it. But really happy about that PS2, man. Freaking PS2. Great stuff. And then I think I do want to make some other changes. I want to get slightly better, like a better component rack as opposed to like this little shelf, just to have it a little bit more secure. But that's going to be for another day. Let's get to these pickups. Look at this. I just got them on the chair. We got Samurai Showdown. This is 5 for the PlayStation 2. I picked this up at the Hard Off in Kimitsu, Chiba. I was out there for a week, and I will be releasing a video on that store. But that store is like one of those combo Echo Towns, and this game came from the book-off portion. Great game. I also got Shadow of the Colossus for 270 yen. I have the North American version, but I left it in the States. And every now and then I want to play the classic version. I also have the HD remaster. But, you know, that game needs no introduction. We got some Philios for the old Sega Mega Drive. This is actually a really good game. Now, I picked it up at Trader, and as you can see, the price was $2,480. Now, with this game, it is available as a part of the Hamster Arcade Archive release. And, you know, that's going to be the arcade version, and it is available on the Switch, most likely the PlayStation, Xbox, Steam. We got Aero Blaster. $77.80 is what I paid for it. And again, it came from Trader. I have the PC Engine release, but I had such a great time with that one that I wanted to try this one. What else do we have? Oh, we got Outrunners. Picked this up in the Makuhari Chiba area for that price at the Furuichi. Very surprised to see it there, but I've been wanting this one for quite some time. Now, this one is a far cry from the arcade release, but I still have a blast playing this one. Hopefully one day we will see that. We got Darwin 4081. Now this one I have featured, I think when I did the Game Rant on the TV. But 2,200 yen. This came from the Kuki hard-off. The hard-off in Kuki Saitama. A fun little shooter. Nothing like spectacular, but you know, really fun. Now this one, Burning Force. Now as you can see here, 67.80 before sales tax. It had a 500 yen discount. And I ended up having 500 yen in points, as well as a 200 yen discount. So in total, I got 1,200 yen discounted from this game. And it's a cool one. Now, you know, it's definitely an acquired taste, but having a lot of fun with that one. I haven't beat it yet. And then we have Darius 2. Look at this beautiful cover. I'm a big fan of the Darius series. And I haven't played too much of the game, but I'll definitely give it its due. As a matter of fact, I have the cart here because I was playing some Sega the other day. And as you can see, the condition of it, I hate it when that happens. So I got to get some glue and then carefully glue that. But not a big deal, whatever. Here we go. Now we're getting into some crazy stuff. I got just the standard composite cable for the original Xbox so that I can connect it to this bad boy. Now I use component cables when I want to connect it to the PlayStation 3D display, but these are going to allow me to use this bad boy. Look at this, the Beretta. This is a replica light gun for the original Xbox, and there's also a PlayStation 2 model. Now I found this in the junk section at the hard-off in Kimitsu Chiba, and that's going to be the next In the Hunt release, so stay tuned for that. And I haven't tested it out yet. It was in the junk section because the top cover was just like placed on incorrectly, but that was a simple fix. So I hope this works, and I have a good feeling that it will work. I'm looking forward to using that gun, man. Then we got Lost Odyssey here. Paid 330 yen. Look at this beautiful cover. Now, I have the North American release to this. And the reason I got this version was because I want to put my North American release into this case because it protects it more. You see that? Each disc has its own little private space. Whereas the North American release just kind of stacks it all. The nice thing about the North American one is that it doesn't have such a thick profile. It's just a regular case, but I'm wary about, you know, the discs just kind of rubbing on each other. Then I got Red Dead Redemption. This is like the combo pack, which has the zombies version, the standard game, and the DLC. Paid 550 yen. This came from the Kazo Higashi store where I picked up Godzilla. And I've played this, but only the beginning. I remember my brother bought the game and I played it in the beginning, and you know, I love westerns, spaghetti westerns, the classic westerns. And this seems right up my alley. I'm not the biggest fan of Rockstar games, but this one's gonna be good. Better be good. I got a PSP battery, but I tried charging it and it was giving me errors, so this may be a dud. This cost 880, and I got this at the Book Off Super Bazaar at Makuhari. And I don't know, hopefully I can get it to work because I have had batteries official ones in the past giving me like the charging error, but then, you know, just kind of fiddling around and cleaning them made that go away. So I'm hoping that's going to be the case. Now here we have a strange one. This is Stray Sheep, The Adventures of Poe and Mary for the PlayStation 1. It has such a very unique visual style, and I was playing it, and it's definitely one of those games that, you know, you don't see all that often, at least on console anymore, perhaps on PC, because, you know, there's so many indie games. But this was a full-blown release. It supports like the DualShock. As a matter of fact, what's the year on this guy? Look, Fuji Television is involved. I don't really see a year. That's kind of annoying. Sometimes these Japanese releases don't have like a year like front and center, but I think it's a late release, you know, it being like a DualShock release. But looking forward to this one. I was playing it, and yeah, it's going to be a riot. We got some Blood Factory. This is loaded. $39.80 is what I paid for it at Trader. Now, I had this, and I picked it up when I was out in the Kansai region for the expo. I was working at the expo for a few months at the American Pavilion, building that. And I picked up a copy at a Book Off Plus in Kobe. And it was half this price, but it was only the manual, a case, and the game. It didn't have the back insert, nor the OB card, or the little postcard. But this one is complete. I ended up selling that copy. And, you know, that definitely offset the price on this one a little bit. But this is a fun game. It also has a sequel, Reloaded, but that was only available for the PlayStation. What else do we have here? Got some Twinbee. Here's the name. Detana Twinbee Yahoo Deluxe Pack. Now this one I believe has, well, there's the price. I picked it up at the Book Off in Makuhari. It's a fun game, and I believe it takes like one of the ones that was released on the Super Famicom. I'm not so familiar with this, you know, but it's a shooter. It's Konami, and I'll definitely give it its due. I did pop it in, and, you know, it's definitely worth the price. I'll beat it for sure. Here we got The Shooting. Now this is the price I paid. Now I picked this one up. This was at the Nagaura Hard Off. I picked it up there. Now you can find this for 100 yen, but this one had the OB card, and I rarely see it with the OB card. And the disc is really clean. I did play this. I have the Konami Hyper Blaster. I have like the little horned owl release, and but actually when I played it, I didn't use that. I didn't use the Hyper Blaster. I was just using the regular controller because it was just a quick test. But, you know, I'll definitely give it its due. I love my light gun games. And then I got the greatest hits version of Nocturne in the Moonlight, or Symphony of the Night. Now this was 3,000 yen. And normally this game is gonna start like at 4,000, 5,000 or more. I have the original vanilla release that includes like the bonus goodies, but I just like how this one is a lot smaller. Takes up less space. But, you know, this game it needs no introduction. It's a masterpiece. Beautiful game. Then we have Eldis. Yes, for the PC Engine. This is a shooter, and I got this at the Kimitsu Hard Off. The Hard Off in Kimitsu, Chiba. It's a fun little shooter, and it kind of reminds me of PC Denjin or Airzonk. It kind of has like that goofy vibe. As a matter of fact, I have it here in the old Duo. I was playing it, and yeah, definitely gonna play through it. Now this Game Boy DMG. Now this was a junk bin find. It was 5,000 yen before the sales tax, and it includes the manual, all the matching serial numbers, the box. But it has like those little annoying vertical lines. But, you know, that's just a matter of getting out like the, oh gosh, getting out the old soldering gun. Which, by the way, I always like to put the receipts here just as a memory. Oh God. Yeah, but there it is, 5,000. The 2,000 yen bit was something else. By the way, I have like the air conditioner running and the fan because it's freaking hot. So if that picks up, I apologize. I can't even get this guy out with one hand. Yeah, there's that. And I got to keep this. Normally they don't give you this, but sometimes they forget to grab it. But that was the price. A nice little unit. I will repair it. I do have the black one, but you know, sometimes it's nice having this complete. I wonder what was here. Maybe some batteries or something else. I don't really know. I'll put that away later. But the DMG Game Boy. What else do we have? Oh yes, here we go. Another fighting game for the 3DO. Now I got this at Trader, and it was 3,380 yen. I saw this at a hard off in Omiya, which I did a video on, and they had it for like 7 or 8,000 yen, something like that. But look at this beautiful cover, and this is a fighting game, way better than the PlayStation and the Sega Saturn in terms of like art design, the visuals. This has a better visual design. It is a goofy little fighting game. I did beat it, and it was mostly easy except for the last boss, which was like the Super Sailor Moon chick. But I do like 3DO. I have nostalgia for the 3DO, not because I owned one, but because I would see it in like Next Generation magazine, EGM, GamePro. And at the time, you know, it was just so out of reach because of its crazy price. But now that I have one, you know, I'm picking up all those games that kind of had my interest back then. But happy to have this one. I'm also going to get the Ultraman release, the Puzzle Bobble release, and a few other games, and then I'm going to call it good on the old 3DO. Now let's get into some Super Famicom. Check this out, y'all. Super Aleste. Now I popped this in. Great music. This is a compile shooter, and it's regarded as one of like the best in terms of like gameplay, like one of the better ones. Just because there's very little slowdown. As a matter of fact, I don't think I experienced any while I was playing it, and I got to like level 3 in my initial run. But look at this beautiful cover. Now this is missing the manual. I picked it up in Mandai Shoten for 12,000 yen, but I'm going to get the manual later. As a matter of fact, that's what I did with a few of my other Super Famicom games, you know. Get the game. Sometimes I get it loose, and then eventually the box, the manual, everything comes together. But really happy with this one. Now here we have Jellicoe Rally Big Run. This was an early launch title, or an early release for the Super Famicom. Now I didn't actually, I haven't actually played it yet. Because for whatever reason. Ooh, oh, look at that. I'm like a cat, y'all. But visually it looks awesome. I like that it's the full screen. Sometimes like these games, like these kinds of games are like Mario Kart or Outrunners where it splits the screen, which I hate. I want that full screen experience. But I like that this one has it. I hear that it's very choppy, but I am a big fan of Jellicoe, and I'll definitely give it its due. And this was, I picked it up at the Nagaura hard off, and I paid 1,000 yen before that sales tax. And then I went ahead and did it. Breath of Fire, 2,300. This came from the book off in Kuki Saitama. And I'm trying to get all the Capcom games for the Super Famicom. Now this game I have beaten many years ago for the Super Nintendo, and it was a great experience. But you know, just I freaking love Capcom, man, and I want to get all those games. Here we go. Art of Fighting 2, Juku no Ken. This game is freaking awesome, and this one I want to say, like from a technical standpoint, it's fairly close to Street Fighter Alpha 2 in what they have done. I believe the original Art of Fighting by Takara for the Super Nintendo also has like the scaling, but this one has it. And I didn't experience a lot of slowdown with this one. Now this one is missing the manual, and it does have this, and I only paid 2,000 yen for this. But you know, the manual will come later. If it doesn't, it's okay. And then I also got Garo Special, or Fatal Fury Special. I do want a lot of the conversions for the Super Nintendo, the Super Famicom. Look at this, 32 meg action game. And I have beaten this. I've beaten this version many times. But guys, that's the collection. That's how it is. I should have done a video on the stuff that I was getting rid of, because a lot of this stuff I funded by getting rid of a lot of stuff, you know. And as a matter of fact, you know, I'm going to be getting rid of that PS2, the white ceramic. I got a few Sega Saturn games that I'm getting rid of. Again, I don't need. I'm not after for a complete collection. Far from it. I don't really care to have games that I'm never going to play, or, you know, they kind of they sully the collection, they spoil it, to steal somebody else's words. But anyhow, those are the pickups. Really happy. I'm probably going to dive deep in this game again. I beat it with Mechagodzilla, but I want to play it with Godzilla. And this game is pretty cool because some of the backgrounds and the cities, they get destroyed as you play. The beautiful parallax scrolling, and among other things. But you know, what else? I guess what else is on the horizon for pickups? I should probably talk about that. I want to get Musha Aleste for the Sega Mega Drive. For the Super Nintendo, after getting this TV, it's definitely, I don't know, there's just something, there's an appreciation about it. I mean, look at that beautiful thing. Again, this is coming in a little bit brighter from what you guys are seeing through the camera, but the way that I'm seeing it here in person, you know, it has that perfect, not the perfect, but a very close brightness, contrast, color, etc. But I'm really happy with this freaking TV, man. But anyhow, Super Nintendo, what are you guys after for the Super Famicom specifically? I have a whole list. It's on my phone. As a matter of fact, let me grab that while you guys check out Mothra here. What do I have? Gonna look up this list. Again, this is just a straight up Game Rant coming in raw. Where the heck is my notes? Here we go. Here we go. Super Famicom. What do we have? Oh yeah, I want to get X-Men. I want to get X-Men by El Capcom. Fatal Fury 2. World Heroes 2. World Heroes 2 was also made by Saris. Now these guys have a few. They made a few games for SNK. You know, they made what is that? Ironclad. And they also made some of these conversions, but World Heroes 2, that's definitely gonna come home. But anyhow, guys, JJ with another Game Rant, game pickups video. Stay tuned for the next In the Hunt. We're gonna be going to the Hard Off in Kimitsu, Chiba. Stay tuned. Ciao.